Welcome back, guys. So we are officially back with a non-tea talk video. I'm still kind of adjusting things with the channel. Actually, so of yesterday, I decided to kind of like readjust some things and actually kind of have like a channel mascot, if you will. So you'll probably see on the profile picture, the mascot of the channel is actually be one of my favorite Pokemon, Cyndaquil. And yeah, so it should be like Cyndaquil drinking some tea and stuff. And I'm gonna like also kind of like outsource that project as well for other people who might want to kind of like make some artwork or whatever for me. But right now, that's gonna be kind of like the profile picture, the mascot of the channel. Which actually, let me show you guys. I actually have little Cyndaquil right here. This is a card. This is a promo card that I got first partner. I'm shocked that I was able to pull this, by the way. And I have more cards. I actually like I've been really trying to like pull more cards from my Pokemon collection, so I'm definitely going to like show that off at a later date, and you guys can even see like right here my little project, which again I'll show at a later date as well. I think I'll just throw all that in like another Pokemon kind of video. But today I wanted to kind of make like a little yappy randy video or whatever. I was actually talking to a couple of my friends the other day about dating. And so, if you guys know anything about me, I'm a hopeless romantic, blah, 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 all that good stuff, blase, blase. And back when I was working on my master's, well, actually, for my final project for my master's program, I actually did a 20-page paper, research paper, on modern versus traditional dating. Got 100. Other people liked it who I've kind of like read it out to, whatever. And I kind of like am also thinking about publishing it as well, but that's beside the point. Anyway, I feel like I'm very knowledgeable on like the dating sphere, especially through my experiences and like actually researching stuff. But I wanted to kind of talk about all that stuff today because I think it really is interesting. I just think in this dating age and this dating climate, we're kind of cooked. I'll just be real. I just think we're kind of cooked. So, without further ado, again, this isn't like a traditional tea talk, but I do have some tea. Oh, sorry, the camera. So, I do have some tea, just a green tea today. So, this is the benefit of not using a microphone or not using kind of like the microphone where I'm holding it. I don't have to like sit it down, put it back, and this and that. I like everything's like free. But anyway, so maybe I should hold it. Maybe in the future, because I'm also going to change like, the camera angle up too. Angle up. Ooh, Lord, my Louisiana accent came out. But I wanted to talk about the dating sphere and why I think like modern dating is just kind of like in a terrible place. And I think a lot of that really has to do with the illusion of options. So, and I even reference this in like my paper as well. I feel like older generations really did not have the perception of the illusion of options nearly as much as like younger people do. And I think a lot of that really is, well, for dating apps and like social media and stuff like that, where if you're not happy with your partner or if you want to find someone and you just hop on Instagram, you hop on Hinge, Tinder, whatever, and you just scroll until you find somebody and just kind of like rinse and repeat. Yeah, rinse, wash, repeat that entire cycle again. And I think that's really what's holding a lot of people back because realistically, you're not going to find 100% of what you want in one person. You see what I'm saying? But at the same time, that doesn't mean that you should just, I don't know, not want to explore things with them. I don't know. I just think it's just kind of crazy. And I've even kind of fallen victim to that. Back when I was, I say, like, younger, I guess, which I'm still young, I definitely was very ignorant to the schematics of like dating and stuff. So I thought that, oh, well, I'll go to college, I'll find the love of my life, be happy and this and that, married by 28 or whatever, and which none of that happened, by the way. But I was still I had a very old soul, kind of like, I want to say mature perspective with like dating and stuff because a lot of like what I was around when I was younger were kind of like older souls, like my grandparents, my parents, and just how like they met each other and just all the like the love stories that you would hear and everything. That's something that was kind of ingrained in me what I thought my love story was going to be, which it still very much could be. But college wise, no. I say all that to say, again, when I was really talking to my friends about this, I really was just like, dang, like the dating climate is really bad. And a lot of it really is like the illusion of options. But I also think the illusion of options also kind of represents a sense of hubris that a lot of people do have. A lot of people view themselves as the, which they should, you know, the prize and this and that. But in some capacity, they also don't really humble themselves. So I guess to drive my point home even more, you could even say something like, well, you should have like options, and because you only have like one life and this and that, which, yeah, that's fine. But I also think that perception of like illusion of options and everything really is what keeping a lot of people single. And so an example that I have is actually, and I actually referenced it in like an earlier video. It's like actually like a tea talk video too. But it was basically like I went on, this was years ago, like I think like 4 or 5 years ago. I went on a date with this girl, woman I should say, and we had amazing time. I thought everything was good, and we were talking pretty solid for like honestly a month, until just out of nowhere she just ghosted me. And I approached her, I think it was like maybe 5 months later, because again, like I did move on, but I was just kind of curious, just like, yo, like, what was the deal? And she was just like, oh, well, you know, I'm just not attracted to you. But it just, I guess, was kind of hard for me to like, I don't want to say hard for me to just kind of like comprehend that, to digest that. But at the same time, I'm just like, well, what was it that I guess you just found unattractive just immediately? But we were up here talking for like a month. You see what I'm saying? So I kind of felt like my time was wasted. But again, out of respect for her and out of respect for myself, the best thing is just to move on from the situation, right? Also, I met that person on Hinge. So all that to say, I just think there really is a kind of like a negative perception with dating in this day and age, where it's like if your partner does something to like make you irritable, this and that, then you just go and try and find a replacement, instead of what I feel like people should do and really like come together to try to like work things out. I don't think people really have this notion, or younger people, I mean, have this notion of, oh, well, we can work things out, because in their minds they're like, oh, well, I'm perfect, this person isn't, I'm not the problem. Which I feel like in relationships, like that's really not always the case. I think there are times where both parties are wrong. And I just think just even getting to that point in the modern day and age is really like trying to pull teeth out of a whale. Like it's impossible. And so I guess like to further that point even more, there have been so many situations, again, not to like throw people under the bus, but people that I've been friends with and just like random people I've kind of talked with that have openly admitted that they were cheating on their partner. In some situations, they got married. So I don't know, which I mean, I guess that kind of leads into another discussion for another video. But it's things like that that I just don't understand, where it's just like, okay, well, they were cheating. Why not just break up with the person? I guess in the situation where they end up getting married is fine, sure. But the crazy part about that is, in I would say most of those situations, probably like 85% of those situations, the person who was cheating did not take accountability. And in some of these stories, it was like years later they were telling me, you know, and I'm thinking like, okay, then they matured and everything. No, they were saying like, oh, I cheated on this person because this person didn't make me a sandwich or whatever, or this person didn't show up to this place even though they promised and they had to go to work. But it's just like, again, the selfishness and the illusion of options. And instead of like actually just doing the mature thing to try to talk to the person or just break up, they're doing stuff, you know, moving kind of crazy behind their back, right? And so I think to kind of like conclude like the quick little video, because again, this is kind of like just like a talky ranting video about relationships and stuff. I just think at the end of the day, it really makes modern dating scary. And for me, like I've joked with people and I've said like, look, I'm not getting married. Like it's impossible. But I think it really is scary, because it's like when you understand the intent that some people have and you understand the processing that some people have as well, it really and truthfully makes it very scary to want to go out and pursue a relationship when you already know that this person is already probably talking to like 20 different people, right? So for example, I mean, there was one time like I actually did go on a date with this girl. Things were going fine, but on the date, and nothing really happened after, but on the date I straight up asked her, I was like, am I the only guy you're talking to? And she was like, no. So I was like, okay, well, I don't think this is gonna work out. And she kind of felt like some kind of way, but I told her, I was like, well, look, you know, I mean, that's all cool, that's all fine, but for me personally, like, I don't want to feel like I'm in competition. I want to feel as though, yes, like, you like me, I like you, let's build up to something, right? And if it doesn't work, sure. But again, it's just like, I feel like if you're in competition, then the other person really doesn't like you that much, right? Because why should I have to like jump in the Roman Coliseum and fight for you if you like actually like, you see what I'm saying? And if that's really the case, then who's to say that this person won't be tempted in the future? Like, let's say I have an argument, with like, say like my girlfriend or wife or whatever, and now all of a sudden this is like, oh well, I can go talk to this person, this person, and to like make Arthur jealous. You see, so I just feel like it's just messy, because at the end of the day, if you have a grievance with someone, you're not going to, well, in a relationship setting, you're not going to just be like, oh, okay, I'm going to entertain the other person. I feel like you try to work through those things. And again, if you're not willing to really work through them, do you really like that person, right? And yeah, I just think like, again, so you got that, you never know what the other person is doing. And I don't think it's really a matter of like insecurity, honestly. I just think it really is a matter of like realism. Like, realistically, man or woman, whatever you're attracted to, you're probably going to have to fight through a million different people to talk to that specific person. And even if you somehow get to that person, right? So let's say, best case scenario, you guys end up in a relationship. I feel like the things that they were doing outside the capacity of a relationship kind of mirrors what they would do in a relationship, right? So if they were talking to other people and stuff, they're probably going to keep talking to other people, just, behind your back and everything. Certain respect things probably aren't going to be there. So I just think it really is like a real talking point. And I just think it really makes like modern dating like very scary, because you just never know. In fact, I was actually watching a video on YouTube, I think Udi or UDY or whatever. Go check out his channel, much bigger channel than me. I don't know why I'm shouting it out, but I love his stuff. His like content is basically about like loyalty tests. So he like tests like people's partners to see like if they would remain loyal. One guy on the show admitted that he was testing his current girlfriend because his past girlfriend ended up giving him an STD. So again, so even stuff like that is just like, you don't really know, because you're thinking that this person, which by the way, the girl he was testing in that video ended up failing as well, so he got his heart broken twice. So I feel bad for bro, because actually in that situation, they actually had already like kind of signed off on a house together, and she cheated on him. So that's what I'm saying. I just think it's just very scary, because you can really be like very, very deep with a person, and then all of a sudden who they are like finally comes out. Now you have to like either just decide like, do I want to fix things and kind of move forward, or do I just want to cut things off? Because I don't feel like it's really possible to move forward with that person, and I really think it also kind of affects you in the future as well. So overall, like, that's pretty much the video. I don't know, I just wanted to kind of talk about relationships and stuff. I just think the modern dating kind of sphere is just terrible. I think people have this illusion, or this kind of perspective of like, I have illusion of, or I have options, and like, yeah, you can say that, but it's like, if all the options were good, or if they were actually like real options, then why are you still single? You see, I don't know. So I just think, yeah, like people, I feel like the best way to go about dating is really and truthfully from kind of like a formality, if you will. I think social media and dating apps are good to like branch out and meet certain people, but again, with how available certain things are, it's kind of hard to meet those people. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. I'm just going to sip my tea, go play some more Power World, which, by the way, is a great game. And, I probably shouldn't be saying this, since Cyndaquil is like the mascot of this channel, or will be the mascot of this channel. But, yeah, Power World's a great game. So, I'm going to hop on there and catch you on the next episode. So, peace.